Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you for joining us on our daily walk through the Holy Week. This is day 4, and if you've missed our previous 3 videos, please go ahead and check us out online on Facebook, on YouTube, and catch our other videos. And so you can see what we've been doing. We've got 2 more to go before we get to Sunday morning, our worship service for Resurrection Sunday. So I'm excited about those things going on. My name is Pastor Brandon, and you're watching with North Haven General Baptist Church, and we want to thank you for joining us today. Today, I want to put the focus on Jesus and on Jesus getting prepared for what is to come. He knows what's coming. He knows what tomorrow brings. He knows what is coming even on Sunday. So he's getting prepared for these things. And on Thursday of the week, they had their Passover meal, and we talked about that yesterday. And what we commonly refer to as the Last Supper or the Lord's Supper, talking about communion and where that idea comes from and remembering Him. We went through all that yesterday throughout our Bible study online. And then today we're continuing on Thursday what had gone on. So, we could go through several different things. The meal happened on Thursday. Jesus was arrested and betrayed on Thursday. There's different things that we can point out that had gone on that day so many years ago. But I wanted to focus on something that I don't think gets as much attention, and I don't think we need to skip this part of the message. So we're going to be reading from the book of Mark, chapter 14, verses 32 through 42. So again, chapter 14 of Mark, beginning in verse 32. They came to a place which was named Gethsemane, and he said to his disciples, "Sit here while I pray." And he took Peter, James, and John with him, and he began to be troubled and deeply distressed. Then he said to them, "My soul is exceedingly sorrowful, even to death. Stay here and watch." He went a little farther and fell on the ground and prayed that if it were possible, the hour might pass from him. And he said, "Abba, Father, all things are possible for you. Take this cup from me. Nevertheless, not what I will, but what you will." Then he came and found them sleeping and said to Peter, "Simon, are you sleeping? Could you not watch for 1 hour? Watch and pray, lest you enter into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak." Again he went away and prayed and spoke the same words. And when he returned, he found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy, and they did not know what to answer him. Then he came the 3rd time and said to them, "Are you still sleeping and resting? It is enough. The hour has come. Behold, the Son of Man is being betrayed into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us be going. See, my betrayer at hand." Jesus knows the time is coming very soon where he will lay down his life for us. He knows the things that are coming. He knows that he will rise again. He knows all the things that is supposed to be going on. He knows all the things that ended up happening. But he was in distress. He was struggling. He was struggling with what was going on. We see in there, we often miss this. We talk about the fact that he says, "Pass this cup," right? You've heard that in church. If you go to church very often, especially around this time of year, you hear that message that said that he asked for the cup to be passed. But what we often miss, I think, in Scripture is not only did he ask that once or twice, but 3 times he went and asked. We look at the words that are said here. He goes and he comes back. He goes again and he comes back. He goes and comes back a 3rd time. And Mark indicates in this passage that each time he was praying for the same thing. We also see that he fell to the ground. That's how much in distress he was about what was going on. So the question is why? Why would he be in distress if he knows he's going to raise again? If he knows he's fully getting to this point of completion? Well, the fact of the matter is he doesn't want to physically go through the pain. I mean, I assume that you can imagine that if you have any idea what the pain and everything he was going to go through was, he would have understood what dying on the cross meant, the suffocation and the pain that goes along with it. And he didn't want to go through that. I think mothers can probably understand this a little bit better than we can. Whether it was a C-section or what they call, quote, natural birth, whether you had an epidural or not, right? You love your children. You wanted your children, I would hope. But if you could have gotten them a less painful way, you would have absolutely done it, right? You'd go through that pain again if you had to have those children, but you would have liked to have not had to go through that pain to begin with. Or if you've adopted your children, or if you got your children through family or some other means because of different things that go on. You had to deal with court, you had to deal with paperwork, you had to deal with waiting and the pain of watching others suffer, or just all these different things that you face, the different types of struggles that you had to face until you get to the point of being a parent or guardian or both, whatever the terms that you use are. You love them. You don't despise the fact that you had to go through that. But if it could have been easier to get to that point, I think you would have accepted that, right? You would have accepted not having to go through all those different things. Sometimes the cost of adoption alone. So there's all these different things, and we see that Jesus was willing to make the sacrifice. Jesus wanted to fulfill the will of God. He wanted to fulfill the purpose that he was there to do. But if there was another way to avoid the way it happened, he would gladly take it. He wants to proceed with the process if that's the only way. If that's God's will, then he's more than willing to do so. He was more than willing to do so, and he completed it that way. He gave up his life. He went through those things. He did not run. He did not hide. He did not try to get away. His only ask was, if there's a way for me to get out of this pain, but still fulfill the things that need to be fulfilled, then let it happen. But if not, I am willing. I am your servant, God. And I think that's amazing. Because not only was he willing to endure for our sake, he did endure for our sake. I thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.
I want to thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I encourage you to check out more videos here on our YouTube channel. If you want to learn more about Christ or more about our church, please check us out on our website, northavengb.com.